Strap yourself in for Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul.
Are you doing the stuff?
Welcome back, keepers. My name's Jack Phillips. This is Keeping It Real with Jack and Raoul, and you are
Gabrielle Tolan. Yay! Look at Jack. She did the intro, everyone. Oh, Digger's excited. Digger's even standing up.
Digger. I did it right once.
Yeah. Hey, we got a good episode today on Scheduled Joy, but before we get into that,
Speaking of joy,
talking about joy, we wanted to let you know that we, on the success of our last immersion in Fiji, which was a huge success, we're doing another one, this one in Australia, in Victoria, regional Victoria, in the King Valley region, which is an unbelievable region.
I believe they've got quite good wine
They've
there.
got very good wine.
Funny that, what a coincidence.
Our luxurious accommodation will be across the road from Brown Brothers Wine. So the dates are the 23rd and the 25th of October.
Limited numbers.
Very limited. If you are a subscriber on Patreon, you would have heard about this weeks ago. So another reason to join us on Patreon, you get advance
access
notice
to stuff
of
quickly.
These. Yeah, but Jack wants to read out one or two quotes, feedback from the last.
So we took some awesome bloody keepers to Fiji. I mean, they were a great group. No one knew each other at all. At all. No one knew who was going.
Two knew each other, but only by default they arrived and go, oh my God, I didn't know you were coming.
But the rest did not know each other. We have created some very deep connections, and that is just a tiny part of the value.
Yeah.
We always do an NPS and a feedback afterwards. I want to know exactly what they thought of the masterclasses, what they thought of the food, the accommodation, the keeping it real access they had to you and I, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This person, so I asked her two things. I asked them all the same things, but this person came back with, when I said considering the new connections you formed during the immersion, what would you rate the value of these and why did you choose this rating? 5, excellent, top rating. She said, having the right mixture of people really made this immersion special. The new connections will last a lifetime and totally what I needed in my life right now. So the networks that this forms, and of course we've extended that. Creating the WhatsApp group.
And the support on the WhatsApp group. Have you noticed people have put something on LinkedIn and everyone's supporting?
That. Helping each other with new jobs, new ideas, coaching, mentoring, they're catching up for walks. It's just terrific. The other question we ask is around the ROI. So that's a really big deal to me, yeah? So if you're going to invest money in coming and spending some time with us and others, do you feel that you got value? This person said, this is another person, absolute value for money, and I've already recommended the immersion that you'll do in the future to others. I look forward to what you'll do with the Us OGs group. This is the first group when we all get into the next immersion. Do you know by day 2 they were asking us in Fiji, can we do a reunion?
Yep.
So keepers, come and join us in the King Valley because Raoul and I know how to have a bit of fun and schedule a bit of joy.
That's a very good lead into scheduling joy, which is the topic of this podcast episode. The episode is schedule joy because life will schedule stress.
That's exactly right. So schedule your joy because life will schedule your stress. Now, we all know that, yeah? So easy to live a stressful life today. There's a lot going on, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of change, a lot of health issues. We're all working way too hard. We're all bloody in debt up to our eyeballs. I mean, I could go on, but we're not going to stress people out. What we are going to encourage them to do instead is schedule joy.
Yes.
Why is it important, Raoul?
Well, I think because of what we're saying, life will schedule stress. I've just realised that you and I say schedule and schedule differently. If you notice
well, that's because I can speak the Queen's English and you just bastardise it, but that's all right. Makes me look good.
How do you say it, Keehlan?
I say schedule.
Schedule. 2 versus 1. You're New Zealand. They say New Zealand, they say differently.
New Zealanders are cool.
Anyway.
So joy doesn't happen by accident.
No.
Right?
Well, it can happen by accident.
Sure.
But it's sort of like
stress
the more
will find you. So
stress will find you. So
schedule your joy.
Schedule things into your day, whether it's you. And I think we've spoken about this on previous episodes where, you've got to sort of schedule things on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly, quarterly. Yeah.
So this idea that, let's just make sure that we've got joy in our life because joy's fun and it's good and it's a break from work. There's actual research that talks about joy being key to sustainable performance, key to enhancing creativity, key to being more resilient, encouraging more perspective. So there's a whole lot of actual benefits, maybe even commercial benefits by scheduling joy.
Yeah.
So if that's not a good reason, I don't know what is.
I mean, and your whole mental health would
Your
be,
whole mental health.
it's like your
Your ability to continue
yes,
and perform.
Yeah. How do you do this?
Oh, I'm the queen of joy, love. I try to bring joy, but I try to live joy. I mean, I do have a joyous life. Now,
Yeah.
I think a lot of that is my optimism.
Yeah.
But then what drives my optimism? I think it's the fact that I have a lot of joy in my life. So I think the two are connected.
Yeah.
So what do I do for
But
joy?
you'll make big decisions. Like even the massive big decision you chose to move to the country because that's where you love to be.
That's gonna bring me
That
joy.
is a major life decision,
And it-
based around this
Joy.
would be more joyous.
Joyous. You're exactly right. So living in the city, living amongst the noise and the traffic and the stress of big city life, I'd had jack of it. And I had a feeling, well, I'd actually tested it. It was more than a feeling, it was a fact. When I was out of a city in nature or where it was a little more peaceful, I became really creative.
Yeah.
So, and in order to be more creative, usually meant more joy, but also more opportunities.
Yeah.
So it's a
definitely.
bit of a business opportunity as much as it was a personal opportunity. What do you do?
Well, I was going to say, I
joy.
find that when we go to Bermagui, so, 25
same.
acres,
Kangaroos.
veggie garden, a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
We're going up there soon, and it's winter. Last summer we chopped down a huge amount of dead trees, and you got to let them dry for a while, and then comes winter. Burn off time, baby. I swear to God, that is like the most joyous thing I can do in my life.
Do you dance around the fire naked?
No, because
Banging a
it's
tambourine?
that would be a bit dangerous. I could do that actually. Haven't thought
I
about
can
that.
see it.
I'm on 25 acres.
Oh, that's right. No one's going to see you. Only Skippy.
I'll do a little.
He can hop off quickly if it's all too
Do
much.
a little selfie, like dancing with the wolves type thing.
Love it.
But
So nature is important to you.
yes,
is what you're saying.
So it burning off, being in the veggie garden, sitting around a campfire, sitting on the beach, reading.
Yeah. The
Love
other
it.
thing that I find is incredibly joyous in my life, and I've got a feeling you might also relate to this, and Bermagui gives it to you, as does the farm for me. People come to see us. There's a lot of social connection in the country, yeah? So there's not only friends coming, and they're not just popping in, or they're not just having dinner, they're staying for the afternoon or the evening or overnight. So there's that. And so deeper connections, deeper conversations. You've got more time to do that. You take them off and show them different things. There's animals, which always bring joy as well. Most people, dogs and horses. But also the people we've met in the country.
Yeah.
Awesome new friends we've made. People we would not have met if we'd been in the city.
Yeah. And that is true. When people come and stay, they're normally staying for a few days. They're not
right.
they're not just
Driving all that
popping
way
in.
to pop in. No.
Yeah. So that's why we try to get to Bermagui. Like if we haven't got to Bermagui in about 2 months, I'm sort of
You're
itching to
yes,
get
you
back.
are. You talk about it a lot.
There's some really simpler things on a day-to-day basis. I'm having a lot more baths recently.
Oh, God.
Just like
A Queen of Sheba's here.
and can I tell you why?
baths.
For the first time since we've moved into this house, it's been 2 years ago, I have my own bathroom.
Yeah.
With my
Now
own
there's
bath.
joy.
And before that, there was one bathroom
Yes, for all of you.
for all, and you'd be in the bath.
I'm
and
just
then-
imagining Steve's sort of section of the bathroom with three
actually,
other women.
Actually, Steve did have his own bathroom, so he
okay.
had a little,
Man
a
cave.
smaller bathroom, but
man
at
bathroom.
least he had his own. And you'd be sitting there, and the girls would just walk in and or walk in and go to the toilet,
Toilets, yes.
right near your head,
Yes.
because you're in the bath. And it was just like, oh my God, it was like not peaceful.
Grand Central
to have a
Station.
bath. Yeah, it was like having a bath in the middle
Have
of
the
Grand
Dolan-
Central Station.
Dolan family.
And now I can just get up there, I can close the door, I can light the candle.
Oh, listen to you.
And it was like I can read a book. I
Do you
can
put
have a little
bubbles
sleep.
or do you put something
No, I
in
don't
the
put
bath?
bubbles in. No.
You have a little sleep. You're not frightened you're going to slip down and drown.
I think if I fell in the bath, I'd wake up.
You'd wake up, hopefully.
Yeah,
I like
Epsom
the idea
salts.
of candles.
Epsom salts.
Do you know, one of the keepers that came to Fiji, I was talking to her one morning and I said, how's it been? And she arrived just a couple of days before. She's a young mum, and life's really busy and she's working and trying to juggle a couple of boys and things. Anyway, the husband said, go a couple of days earlier. What a legend. And she said she took her own candles and she sort of created her hotel room as a bit of a sanctuary. Did you know that?
No, I did
Yeah,
not know
and so
that.
she would light candles and she took her mat to do some stretching. And she said, I just turned it into my space just for a couple of days. I thought, good on you. There's scheduling some joy.
That's a good idea.
But the bath thing,
I would
that's
just
really
get into our
interesting.
room and have a beer on the balcony.
We know you did. You kept telling me about it. No,
come
Jack,
over,
tonight
Jack.
I'm going to go to my room. I'm not going to have any more alcohol and I'm going to go to sleep. Next morning, well, I had that bag of chips and I drank that beer on the balcony.
It was a cleansing beer.
Anyway,
Well, you're in Fiji. You're on the
you are
balcony.
in Fiji. So baths for you are a new joy. Golf, you like golf?
Yeah,
Exercise?
golf, pickleball. So I think we've
Pickleball.
spoken about pickleball for.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to play much since the operation, but we're going to get back into that.
So it's interesting. The joy that you're referring to, is stuff that is actually easy to do, right?
yeah.
Not expensive. Some of it's free.
And the pickleball you talked about before, that we tend to do it a lot in Bermagui.
Yeah.
It's meeting other people. That's really
How
the
good is that?
thing about it. as well.
So joy for me is travel, going to interesting places. I was listening to a podcast the other day and my favourite podcaster, Scott Galloway, and he was saying he doesn't travel to places, he travels for the hotels.
I know.
And that totally resonated with me.
It resonates with
because
me too.
when Rich and I are booking a trip, the first thing I do is look at the best hotel or a new hotel, or if it's a hotel we've already been and we loved, making sure we upgrade or something, because to me that experience is really important.
Yeah. I don't
Really
want
important.
to go.
Well, I'm not roughing it.
on any on holidays
No.
and be in a place that's worse than my house.
No.
It's like,
Why
why
would
would you
you?
bother?
Why
I
would
could go have a bath.
So I've got a feeling camping's out then.
Well, we used to camp. Like, it's not. I don't mind camping, and I've done camping.
You're not camping.
No, but when we did the Lara Pinta track,
Yeah.
4 years ago, we camped in very, very basic camping
Right.
accommodation.
Gosh.
So I don't mind
Was it joyful?
Well, yeah. Well, not as joyful as 5-star hotel.
I love how you keep it real.
I don't mind it, but it's not gonna. I'm not gonna choose it.
No, you're not going to get excited by it. It was just part of that trip.
Yeah.
Okay, so scheduling joy because life will schedule stress. What about in the workplace? Okay, so we've got leaders listening to us, people that say, well, okay, let me stop and reflect here. Have we had much joy in the office or in the workplace? Because obviously the office could be online, and is likely to be online as much as it is in the office.
And I think as a leader, you sort of
on
got to
you.
take responsibility to make
Absolutely.
sure that happens.
Having said that-
do a little at the end of the week. How much joy have you, or how much effort have
little
you
audit.
put into joy? A joy audit.
Do a joy audit.
That's a good.
So can you remember during COVID, and you should remember this because I got you involved, during COVID, first sort of stint lockdowns, not too bad, everything was fine, all a bit excited because it was all a bit of a novelty. We're all working from home, yahoo, don't have to get up and wash the hair or put makeup on or whatever it might be, or drive or get on public transport. By the third or fourth lockdown, we had 7 in Victoria, Melbourne particularly. I remember people were really over it. And I had, in a team of about 10 or 11 staff at the time, 3 or 4 people that lived alone. Yep.
Yeah.
Very happily lived alone, didn't have pets, and their idea of social connection was work through their team, either coming into the office or online, because we were working online a couple of days a week anyway, or going out regularly, going out for dinners 2 or 3 times a week, going out on weekends, going away. All of a sudden that all stopped, and I watched these 3 or 4 staff members get really down, and they really worried me. I was checking in with them and I could see just by their body language, just by their general mood, that things weren't good. And I remember thinking, I'm going to have to intercept this. By this time we were on the farm, so I wasn't in town. It wasn't like I could go and meet them for a walk within a radius or anything. So I made a point deliberately to kick off on a Monday morning as well as close off on a Friday afternoon with some fun. And it was a team meeting that had nothing to do with work.
Yeah. Good.
And one of those team meetings, I got a comedian in.
You did.
The cheapest one I could find because I had a very limited budget.
She was very cheap.
Actually, I think you gave it to me for nothing.
I
'cause
did
you were-
because you said I will
were
pay you,
experimenting.
and I went, don't pay me because the pressure. There's too much pressure to be funny anyway. And if you pay me, I just said no, I can't.
And you were sort of training to be a comedian, which I thought was bloody
Well,
awesome.
I wasn't. I had done a stand-up comedy course, and so I
Anyway, I got
used
you
it.
in,
got
and
me
you
in.
brought
Oh, it was funny.
huge joy to the team.
Yes.
But the point was, we didn't just talk about work. These meetings were specifically for fun and joy. And the team got really behind the meetings on a Monday morning particularly because they had no idea which way it would go, and I did that on purpose, okay? It wasn't pre-planned. Nobody got told, here's what we're going to talk about. Here's, you're all going to have joy. Are we having joy yet? So I would throw things out. So I would say, okay, today we're going to talk about food. And I could see their little eyes light up. And I'd say, Alex, tell me, what was the best meal you've ever eaten in your life? Now, Alex is not prepared for this, right? So Alex looks at me and he goes, oh, Jack, oh my goodness, I remember. It was when I proposed to Mel, my wife, in Italy, and we ate. And you could see everyone on the call going, we didn't know about Alex, that A, he proposed in Italy, B, that he ate that meal and that he loved it so much.
Yeah.
So it was actually just bringing a bit of fun and joy and connection during a time that was tough. Anyone can do that anywhere,
absolutely.
anytime as a leader. You don't have to wait for COVID.
Yeah.
Don't have to be online.
Yeah. Digger was just tapping up my thing, and
He
it just
likes joy.
reminded me. I've been into some offices where it's bring your dog to work day. So, if you like
Beautiful.
dogs, Digger's,
Love you, Digger.
For those of you that are watching on a video, you can see Digger.
Playing along
He's,
at home. I'm going to take a photo
He's
of
up
Digger.
on my lap.
Wow.
His head's right in front of the microphone. So that's a good one. And it's not only as a leader there's a responsibility for you to schedule joy. I was going to say schedule. But even take responsibility for yourself in scheduling joy. And look, it could be as simple as lunchtime, get outside and go for a walk. Whether you're working from the office or not, take your little puppy dog like Digger out for a walk.
Nice.
Or even the work you do. Like the fact, Jack, you and I are doing, when we decided to do this podcast.
It's all about joy.
The main thing we just said, it'll be fun.
It'll be such fun.
The reasons we're doing the immersions, those 3 days
Such
immersions.
joy.
There's so much, there's joy in there. And yes, there's huge benefits to the people that come.
Personal branding, networking,
and all that.
all the masterclasses, executive presence.
But we enjoy doing it.
We do. And I get a lot of joy, and I know you do too, from seeing people interact and connect and learn.
Yeah.
Some of the questions we get asked, when
Very
people come
cool.
together.
Very cool.
So you're exactly right. Okay, so what are some barriers to scheduling joy? Because I can hear leaders now going, yeah, right, but I'm bloody flat out. I've got home, I've got kids, I've got big responsibilities at work, I've got stress, I've got health issues, I've got parents I need to care for. How do you go, well, hang on.
I think it's always comes back to time. Like if you're a leader, you're going, oh, well, this is going to be a waste of time if we sit around for half an hour just talking about what your favourite meal was.
But it's
not a waste of
It's
time
gonna be the key to
because it's giving them
sustainability,
joy.
performance,
It's strengthening
creativity,
relationships in your team as well. You've got it. To me, you've got to put it in your diary. It always
Well done. Put joy in your calendar.
You
One
know
of the
what?
tips.
I actually don't have anyone controlling my diary anymore.
No.
It's just me. It is everything still in the diary because unless I make the mistake. So my gym classes, even sometimes I've decided, a couple of times this week I'm going to go for a run before gym. That goes in the diary.
Well done.
There's always 2 or 3 times that I know we will have coffee after gym. That goes in the diary. So it's putting, and whenever Steve and I think about, we could potentially go to Bermagui this week because I've got no work on or I've got a virtual workshop. That's in the calendar.
So good.
So now when I'm scheduling, a meeting might come up or a workshop and it sees potential Bermagui, I'm not scheduling stuff
No, you're
there.
not. So what I'm hearing, the tip, and this is an early tip, obviously, is prioritise joy.
Yeah.
Okay, there's so many reasons why you couldn't or wouldn't or shouldn't, but in actual fact, there's so many more reasons why you should.
Yeah.
So actually put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
Write down, I'm going to actually go for a walk this morning. I'm actually going to take the afternoon off.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the spa and get a massage.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and spend some time with a friend I haven't seen for a long time.
Yeah.
Or spend some time with a parent.
Yeah.
I think schedule it. So
And prioritise it. So put it in, but
Always
then don't let
excuses.
it always drop out of the diary. Don't. So
it's a
sort
good
of, make it a bit of a non-negotiable.
Gosh,
Okay, have we
like,
got-
Well, it's like you're reading my list of tips and techniques. Create a non-negotiables list.
Like we prepared for this or
Anyone
something.
would think we prepared for it. Suggest creating a list of 3 to 5 weekly joy rituals that must happen. These become your boundaries. For example, a morning walk, a morning journal, tech-free time. Maybe it's going out for dinner once a fortnight with your partner or your best friend or alone.
Yeah.
That can be joyous. Well,
Sorry. Sorry. I was
deeply into my eyes without giving me anything in return.
No, I was about to say I do like going out for dinner by myself when I travel. I mean, when I'm traveling
it's
for
a
work,
treat. It's
and
indulgent.
you buy, and but I do like room
indulgent.
service.
I agree.
Sitting in
Sitting in
into your
bed with
PJs,
a pizza.
sitting
Yeah, nothing
in
wrong with
bed,
that.
getting it
And
delivered.
watching some trash
Watching,
TV.
you know.
Yeah. Comedy is a great source of joy. Music is a great source of joy. So think of the creative arts. Richie's birthday just recently. So the kid said, "What do you want, Dad? What do you want?" He said, "I'd love you to all meet me at the NGV. I want to go and see the French Impressionists that are here."
Sounds like a barrel.
It was bloody awesome.
Was it?
It was so joyous. And watching
Sounds like my idea of hell. But
Maddie,
anyway.
well, that's why you weren't with us. Miss
Or it's the only reason
Joy,
I wasn't invited.
Joy lover.
Only reason I wasn't invited to
Of course
the
it
family
was.
lunch.
That's right, family NGV outing. But Joy watching Maddie talk to her father about some of the art. I mean, I was sort of standing back watching them. Right. But you can absolutely.
You were standing back going, thank God Maddie's here.
Thank God she's interested. No, actually, I loved it. I love the NGV. So, all right. So the tips and techniques are put joy into your calendar. Absolutely. Schedule it. Create a non-negotiables list, okay? So the things that you will not cancel, the things that you will absolutely do. Recognise that if you don't set boundaries, it won't happen, and there'll always be reasons not to prioritise joy when, in fact, there's more reasons to prioritise it. Build joy into work, leaders. Yeah. Don't just make this about personal. Don't just make this about outside of work hours.
Yeah, and make it, it's your responsibility, leader.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, and I don't know the answer, but I want you to tell me the answer. Can joy be associated with learning?
Oh, absolutely. I am a very strong believer that if people are being entertained, it's the best way to educate them.
Infotainment, they call it.
Yeah, I call myself an edutainer.
Oh, of course you do. Listen to it.
Because I educate and entertain.
Of course you do.
No, but if you think about it, if you are, and that's scientifically proven that if you're having fun, you're more likely to learn stuff.
Something to do with the neurons or the synapses or whatever. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, just speaking of your comedy, because you did that, and remind me again why you went and sort of learned comedy and comedic timing.
Because I wanted, as you know, I'm a keynote speaker, and because of what I just said, if you're entertaining people, they're more likely they'll remember it.
Recall.
So just as I know there's a framework to a good story, there's a framework to a good joke.
Correct.
And so I would find sometimes I'd say a joke and people would laugh, and sometimes I'd say it, I wouldn't. And it was like, and I was very intrigued about why it didn't work sometimes and why it worked other times. And then you go and you learn exactly why, which means you can follow the formula to a good joke. And so yes, I was never going to be a stand-up comedian. That wasn't
make me
the
laugh
aim.
every day.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm easily entertained. Speaking of joy and comedy,
yes,
got any good jokes?
No, don't put me on the spot.
Well, while you're thinking of good jokes, I reckon you'll know one or two. You would have heard one or two. They're probably not appropriate, and they're probably unwoke, and they're probably all those things. This is another tip, and I think it just dawned on me, and particularly for those keepers that do work hard, that do have quite a bit of stress in their life. Stop earning your joy. Yeah.
What does that mean?
So this is important for perfectionists and overachievers, yeah? So people that say, oh, I have to deserve the fun, or I have to deserve the joy. I'll get to it once I've done this, or I need to have proven to myself that I've earned joy. Don't wait until your to-do list is clear, yeah? It never will be, never stops. Flip the script. Joy makes me more productive, not less. Therefore, I need to schedule it now. Schedule it now.
All right, that's good. I thought of a joke that Scott Galloway said on his podcast.
Give it to us,
baby.
baby.
He said
he's a rude.
His
usually.
wife told him the other day that she really loves having sex every day while on holidays.
I know what this is.
And then he goes, no, it was a pretty hard postcard to receive.
Go, Mrs. Galloway.
Okay, keepers. Hopefully you found that of value. Share the joy of this podcast episode and go do something that brings you joy.
Come and see us on our immersion.
Oh, come and join us on the immersion. Got to be done. Okay, we'll speak to you next week.
Bye.
You've been listening to another episode of Keeping It Real with Jack and Rahl. If you like what you've heard, Don't forget to tell others about it and give a 5-star review. They may seem confident, but they really are sensitive 5-star needy souls. Yeah, right. Keeping It Real, created by Jack Phillips and Gabriel Dolan. Produced by Keehlan Ferrari-Brown. And this really real voiceover, spoken by Richard Phillips.